News Now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Carmen Chow. We continue to follow breaking news. At least 3 people are injured after an explosion and fire at the Tredeby facility in Bridgeport.
And at last update, neighbors were being told to shelter in place. Crews were called to the scene just a few hours ago. At least 3 people were taken to the hospital, 1 with burns and 2 with smoke inhalation. Officials with DEEP are on scene in the area of Bishop and East Ave to monitor air quality, but say there's no suspected danger right now.
Tredeby treats and stores hazardous waste materials. The company tonight saying they're cooperating with investigators and praying for those who are injured. The city's mayor gave an update on the situation tonight.
It looks mostly like, and God willing, still early to tell a lot, a chemical fire consuming property with less likely of a greater risk of life at this point from the information that we know.
Now, at this time, there are several road closures in that area. They are listed on your screen there, and most of them are in the Barnum Avenue area. The Tredeby facility releasing a statement saying they are cooperating and working closely with first responders and regulators. We are continuing to follow the story and keep you updated both on air and online. Well, police in Naugatuck are offering a $1,500 reward tonight for information on whoever attacked and robbed an 86-year-old man.
Tonight, we're hearing directly from Jack Hutt. He's hopeful and in good spirits, still recovering from the assault back in June. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc joins us at Oak Terrace Apartments, where this all happened.
Jack Hutt tells us that since he was attacked here at his Oak Terrace Apartments, he refuses to live in fear. However, he is hoping this new reward will bring him the answers he's been searching for.
I'm hoping that with the extra money that they can apply to the reward, that something will come up.
Back in June, 86-year-old Jack Hutt was attacked not once but twice in his apartment here on Conrad Street.
I was a pretty tough bird in my day. And I don't back up. Bring it on. Now,
Naugatuck Police and Water Oak Crime Stoppers are offering up a $1,500 reward for information leading to an arrest.
I think there's could be a lot to this story.
Jack says the first attack happened in the middle of the night when suddenly he heard someone breaking in.
The door swung open and somebody came rushing through it.
Jack fought for his life, seeing only a blur when they eventually ran off. About a week later, it happened again, this time right before dinner and 15 minutes after his twice-weekly aide left for the day. Jack was watching TV when someone crept through his front door.
All of a sudden I knew this. I see the arm going, and he had me.
The suspect took $900 from his pocket and ran.
It's almost like I thought he knew that the money was in my right-hand pocket because he went right there for it.
Now his Oak Terrace neighbors are on high alert but not scared for their safety.
It was like I was aware then that it could be dangerous, but I didn't feel it out when I walked out of the house. I don't get that feeling.
But for the sake of everyone, Janice Kohler hopes this reward does lead to an arrest so this never happens here again.
You know, and they could. That man could have ended up dead.
Now, anybody with any information on these attacks is asked to call Naugatuck Police or the Water Oak Crime Stoppers. Now, we have both of those numbers on Fox61.com. We are in Naugatuck. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Julia. Waterbury police have arrested a second person in connection to a deadly stabbing last week. Police have charged Barry Mason in connection to Jose Varola's death. Varola was stabbed on First Avenue last Friday and was pronounced dead on scene. Police also previously arrested Sean Lawrence. Both are being held on bond.
5 people are without a home after a fire at a house in Torrington. The fire reported around 2 this morning on Hoffman Street. Firefighters tell us they encountered heavy fire from the 2nd and 3rd floors of the home. It took them about 3 hours to get the flames knocked down. The family of 5 got out safely, but their dog did not survive. The Red Cross is now assisting the family. No word yet on how the fire started.
Guilford police make an arrest after a barricade incident. Police were called to a home on Russo Drive just after 2 this morning for reports of a man making threats involving a gun. When officers arrived, they found John Mulligan barricaded inside with a woman. After some time, police safely escorted the woman from the home and Mulligan was arrested.
Eversource is now offering a new program to help some people save on their electric bills. Assistance varies depending on your income. Some customers could get up to 50% off each bill. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is in studio with more on who qualifies.
The low-income discount rate started earlier this month. Now, depending on how much you make, you could either get 10 or 50% off your bill every month. Now, Eversource announced the program as a way to help families who are struggling to pay that bill. Customers wanting to get the discount must be able to prove the level of hardship they're currently under. That can be done by providing a pay statement or maybe a receipt of public assistance benefits that are currently being used in your home. Now, one thing to add, this paperwork has to be provided for each person that's over 18 years old living in that home, not just the person that's actually applying for the assistance. When approved, you can either get 10% off or you could get 50% off if you live under 160% of the federal poverty level. Now, if you do successfully enroll in the cost-saving program, you can also take advantage of other programs that are offered, such as the matching payment program, the New Start program for bill forgiveness, medical protection for those unexpected emergencies, the Connecticut Energy Assistance Plan, and Operation Fuel. Now, one note, Operation Fuel applications are currently closed, but they are scheduled to open again on Monday, January 8th. Now, if you're not somebody who quite meets those low-income requirements of this new program, there are still options if you are somebody that's struggling. Eversource has several energy assistance options for those in need, and those are all listed on their website. Back to you.
Brooke, thank you. And turning to the weather watch now, another gloomy day across the state. Kind of sound like a broken record.
I know we
this
really
week.
do. Meteorologist Ryan Breton here. Sad to say that Rachel left you with quite a gloomy week to fill in, right?
I know. You know, I kind of feel bad that she was on vacation, though, for a week that wasn't that nice around here either. But she doesn't like the cold, so I think she was probably happy with how mild it's been. Good evening, everybody. We do have a little bit of low cloud cover and fog that's trying to form. It's been a little bit more fleeting than the fog we saw earlier this week, though. Groton, New London, visibility down to a mile. There are some patches of mist and drizzle out there as well. And we have one more weather system to go through. It's this front off to our northwest. It's going to be coming south tonight into tomorrow, and it'll be bringing us our next round of showers. But once we get that through here, the weather will be improving for Sunday. So we'll go through this hour by hour. If you have plans this evening, a little misty, some drizzle out there, but not expecting any steady rain, and there may be some patches of fog too. Tomorrow morning, a couple of showers start developing, and there may even be a few wet snowflakes in these showers in the hills tomorrow morning, but they should be moving out early afternoon. Then we start to clear out for good tomorrow evening, and the weather does turn nicer for Sunday. So plan on temps tomorrow, mainly in the 40s, a lot like these last couple of days, but changes are coming. We'll talk about what it means as we ring in the new year when I see you in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Ryan. There will soon be a new leader in Hartford. Arunan Arulampalam will become the 68th mayor on Monday. Current Mayor Luke Bronin spending his last days in office preparing for a smooth handoff to the new leader. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is at City Hall with a look at that transition and a recap on Bronin's time in office.
Mayor Luke Bronin passing over all of his reports to the city's next mayor, Arunan Arulampalam. These reports will help transition the mayor-elect for his term next week. Current Mayor Luke Bronin has spent the last 8 years leading the city of Hartford. He says he's working until his final day in office to make sure the city is in a good spot before he leaves the role. He took office in 2016, taking over the city on the verge of bankruptcy. He proposed deep cuts and went to the governor and legislature for help. But then a few years later came the COVID-19 pandemic, which of course led to new challenges. Since then, as the world gets back to normal, Bronin's office has been focusing on community projects to improve spaces in the city, along with improving public safety and housing. All his time to make change is wrapping up. He says he's happy with all he's accomplished in his 2 terms and is looking forward to a new chapter for the city.
The transition process will continue. We have done a lot of work to make sure that when the mayor-elect and his team take office on midnight Sunday night, that he has the material and support he needs to hit the ground running.
As a resident, and I'm still just a resident for the next couple of days, I feel so incredibly grateful for all of the people who poured their hearts and souls and dedication and love into this city.
Bronin did endorse Arulampalam, who is set to be sworn in officially next week. Bronin also says he's looking forward to seeing the things that leadership team will do in office. In Hartford, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Lindsay, thank you. Right now, voters in Bridgeport are able to fill out an application for an absentee ballot. This, of course, is for the upcoming Democratic mayoral primary do-over. That primary is set for Tuesday, January 23rd. These are other dates to keep in mind for that election. Absentee ballots will be available on January 2nd. January 19th is the last day to register to vote for the Democratic primary. And again, on the 23rd, the new primary will be held.